And welcome to Healthcare Sucks, part 2 tonight. I'm just going to get back into it because I'm telling you, after the last video, these people have a lot to say, and I couldn't say it any better, even if I was representing these people. And believe me, when I reach out to anybody official in the next few days, I will be bringing this story up.
Admitted her last Wednesday night, and I'm curious about the timing of this because it was horrible to bring my mother here after 2 weeks of surgery at the hospital. She wasn't able to walk due to a blood clot surgery that she had, and she was brought here because this was the one place that had a quarantine room. She also had a stomach ailment that you get from having too many antibiotics, so that is the only reason she was placed in the quarantine room. She's down on the corner there. The first time I've seen her was 15 minutes ago because I walked down and knocked on the window. She looks like she's doing okay. I talk to her all the time. And she also praised the staff that's taking care of her. She says they're leaving loved ones at home to come in and do this for me. It's walking into harm's way, and she appreciates it, but she's also very frustrated because there's nowhere for her to go. If I pulled her out of here and took her home, I still couldn't send her back to her senior living center because I don't have a test that says my mom's okay. If I needed to go to the blood clot clinic myself because I pulled her out of here, I would not be welcome at the door. She would be shunned for having been at Life Care. So there is nothing that I can do, even though in my heart of hearts as a good daughter, I want to pull her out of here right now. I have nowhere to take her, and I can't carry her, and I can't I can't fix this, so I'm glad you're all here today to help us.
Did they tell you about the outbreak before you admitted?
They did not, and I'm curious about the timing because they were already having test results by Saturday morning, and we came Wednesday night to check in all honesty, I wanted to pull her out Thursday morning, and I came up here with the intention to do that because she didn't want to be here. And I changed my mind because we had a meeting with several of the healthcare providers in the room, and I actually felt that these were the best people she could be with right now. They were good. They meant to take care of her, and they calmed her down. She was having a tantrum wanting to go home, but I will live forever with that tantrum because I meant to take her home. She wanted to go home, and we just got there when all this started, and now I can't take her anywhere. So, my name is Lori Spencer. Lori Spencer. And my mom's name is Judy. And I just took a picture in the window and sent it to the family so they could see that she's okay. She's 81.
Her last name is also Spencer?
Shape. S-H-A-P-E.
Well, I moved my mom here back in June from the East Coast, so she could experience the beautiful Pacific Northwest and have a change in her life that was for the better from where she previously was living. And I never would have thought that something like this could have happened to her after trying to bring her to improve her life out here. People at the Life Care Center, the staff has been wonderful to my mom. She's happy here as much as one can be in a nursing home. They take great care, and as Kevin said, I don't blame the staff in here for this incident. What I do blame right now is the response from our government officials. When I was made aware of this Saturday afternoon on my way here to visit my mom, I assumed right away, okay, when I get here, there's going to be CDC trucks outside, or people here looking at the visitor list, seeing, oh, so-and-so was here. Oh, Curtis, my name's Curtis. You were here every day last week. You're going to have to get tested right now. No one's contacted me for any of that. I've had a hard time even to try to get testing myself, even though I'm a high-risk person to be tested. My doctor wanted me to get tested, and he can't even get me in to get tested. My mom, she's okay. She's not showing signs of any symptoms. But how long will it be before she does show signs of symptoms? Last week she was very lethargic, and I was concerned maybe she had some kind of infection. But these things happen when you're 89, where you go through little ups and downs, where you don't have good weeks, you have good weeks and bad weeks. I talk to her usually 2 or 3 times a day, and I am comfortable that she is safe in her spot right now, but I want her out and tested immediately. I want her to be somewhere else where she can be even safer and to really know that does she have it or not, and so we can move on from this. People need to imagine if this would happen somewhere in a large nursing home in downtown Los Angeles or in New York City. Imagine how, if the CDC is doing such a poor response on a small little place like this, imagine what would happen if this happened large scale in a big nursing home where there's 400 or 500 people. My mom lived in nursing homes in New York where there was 600 people. Imagine if something like that happened there, and the CDC had such a poor response. And, you know, like I said, we don't see any CDC people here. I tried to call the CDC coronavirus hotline twice yesterday, and the representatives didn't even know what I was talking about when I said Life Care Center on the phone. They said, what state is that in? Where were there any cases reported? They said to me. I was like, what? What do you mean, were there any cases reported? Miss, are you living under a rock? Do you look at the news? Are you not in the coronavirus hotline center here? They did not know that this is happening here and there's people that are sick on the coronavirus hotline at the CDC in Atlanta. What would happen if we can't take, you're not allowed to take
Sorry,
them.
we are.
Nobody will take her.
Sorry, I called Todd. So Todd's the VP of Life Care Center who's now on site taking control of things. And I explicitly said, can I take my father-in-law out? And he said, yes, you can. But then I have a young family. I'm not equipped medically. We don't have he has 10% heart function, so he needs to sleep in a special bed. He needs a shower stool. He needs to be bathed. He needs to be shaved. He needs to be fed. I'm not medically equipped personally, nor do I have the equipment to do that. If I take him out, I'm putting my family at risk. I'm putting the community at risk. So I can be irresponsible and go pull him now. We're being responsible here. We're the responsible ones. We can go pull all of our people now and spread this disease and make it everybody else's problem.
Right, and I would have nowhere to bring my mom.
But that's the question people keep asking. Kevin, why don't you go kick the door down and get him? Yeah, absolutely. And on Saturday and Sunday, we were considering it, and I didn't know if that was even legal. Now we've been told that it is within our rights to do it. And myself and my wife discussed it, and we were like, but what do we do with them? We can't bring them to a hotel. If we bring them home and we try and hire in-home care help to help us, who's going to take that job? Who's going to come and care for an elderly person who's been in here for the last week? We have no options here. This is our only option. Sit and wait for a phone call. That is my only option right now, and this. And then if this doesn't work, I've got to think of the next thing to do. No one has been tested, unless they're symptomatic, and in which case, if they've been...
Because I took him out yesterday. He was tested.
After you took him out?
I had him taken to ER at Evergreen Hospital, and they did test him, but he's back here. It was correct.
If you're showing symptoms.
No, they tested him.
And he didn't have a cough, he didn't have a fever?
He had a cough, but he didn't have the acute symptoms.
Okay.
But if you can get him out...
See, this is what we're dealing with. We don't know. I didn't know that. I didn't know I could go get my father-in-law tested.
I was told from the Evergreen Hospital, no, do not bring your parent here. They cannot be tested unless they're sent here with the doctor's permission.
So my understanding is that if the doctor now says, we want you tested, then they will be tested.
Right.
As of what, a couple days ago. So there is that now.
But there's not sufficient tests available, apparently.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, that's how I understand it for this. Thank you. My mom's name is Mary. She's 89. She'll be 90 in June. And we were planning, when this is over, to take a little ride to the Pacific Ocean, over to Ruby Beach, show around the area there. Yes. Luterman, Luterman.
Real quick,
Yes.
this one's going to run together a little. It's not out of disrespect, but it's just how they filed together.
Thank you.
I want to make sure you get the picture of what's going on.
This is my sister-in-law. Her mother is here at the facility. She has severe dementia, so we don't know how she is. We can't talk to her on the phone. We can't get her to tell us how she's doing. We've been told when we call, she doesn't have a cough, she doesn't have a fever. However, we don't know.
Yeah.
Like everyone said, Life Care, the staff has been amazing. They really take care of the patients. But the corporate, they're in it for the money. They need to step up and, get these people tested. I was in there Monday, which I wasn't supposed to have been, but I went to the door and they did let me in. It was very eerie in there. The halls were empty except for a few workers. And they were just wearing their scrubs and they had those flimsy masks on. A lot of the doors were closed, so you couldn't see in the rooms. I assumed those were the sick patients. I went to my mom's room, and this was about 11:30, and she was still in bed. And that worries me. If they're leaving them in bed all day, their skin's going to break down, and that's going to cause more problems. She's a very social person, so being confined to her room, she can't move her wheelchair. She uses her feet a little bit, but that's solitary confinement. That's no good either. So, and Mr. Pence, please come and visit us right here.
Yeah, right, inside.
Yeah, inside.
And when we arrived on Monday, when she was able to go into the room, she had a roommate who was there I visited on Friday, up until Friday, who had pneumonia, was on oxygen. She told me herself that she wasn't bouncing back. When she went in to visit on Monday, the roommate is gone. And we because of HIPAA, we're not told whether her condition at all.
Yeah. And she was right next to the roommate. She brought her juice. She sat there and talked to her. So.
And we've called the Department of Health on Saturday. They said, no, you don't need to self-quarantine. Families don't need to do that if you are inside. Only if you're showing symptoms. We're not having symptoms ourselves. We've self-quarantined in our homes ourselves just to keep this from spreading to, the community, the elderly, the medically fragile. Called again today. Department of Health is not recommending that the families be self-quarantined who've been in contact with respiratory people inside.
Colleen, Colleen, Mallory, Mallory. My mom's in there. And she's apparently, when I saw her, she was fine. She doesn't have any symptoms. But, are we waiting for the phone call?
And we were told we all have a representative. She was called by her representative this morning. Unfortunately, we haven't been contacted by a representative today.
Yeah.
My name's Anissa, Annissa. Last name Walsh, Walsh. And Peggy is my mother-in-law who's inside.
Okay, guys. This ball has been dropped so far. It's like a lead bar, and it's sinking fast. First, I want to pray for the people one more time and say how sorry I am for any losses and what they're going through. This is not right. This is why I became an advocate and why I started Healthcare Sucks. It's because of what they do to us and how they treat us. This could be you, any of my watchers. It could be any of us. And you heard it better than I could. What I've told you over the years and what I've said, they confirmed it. This is how they're being treated. This is how we're being treated. You're going to be treated. I'm just at awe. And the lady, nothing against this last lady at all, but she was in the facility, in and out. And then at a later part, the other lady stepped up and said, we called these numbers and called these numbers, and they said there's no reason to worry about any testing or anything. And they're not doing testing, and they're not doing testing for the other people, not doing for the testing of the people there. So tonight's show is dedicated to the people at the King. I want to make sure I get it right. Kirkland facility there at the Life Care Kirkland Center facility, and to all the people that have people there. This show tonight entirely, part 1, part 2, and I'm going to do a part 3, is totally dedicated to helping you guys get some answers. If nothing else, I want you to know that I will be pursuing and pushing, and I ask all my viewers, it's time to step up and make phone calls. We all can pick up a phone, guys. You can punch it in your little Google thing and figure out who to call in your areas. But I urge you to take this and let's run with it. And let's make this the biggest thing that we can together as a team, with those people as part of our team. Because you know what? They need a team right now. And healthcare sucks. We're their team. We're the line in back of our frontline players in football. And we love them. And I'm going to pray for them, and I hope you do. And with that, healthcare sucks. Definitely. So I'll try to do it. Healthcare sucks! I knew I could get one out if I tried. But I don't mean to make anybody depressed. I just, I'm very disappointed from Pence down to all of our governors and senators. And, for 1 minute, if they could quit fighting. When I watched the security thing earlier today, it was so same old thing, left and right, arguing and throwing questions for their own team. Why were they for these people? Why are they not on these people's team? Well, as healthcare viewers, and healthcare sucks myself, we're not going to let them down. We're going to be there for them. I'm going to try to reach out and get some of these people. I'm going to do a live show if possible, if they want to. I wouldn't expect anything, and it's nothing for me, it's for them. So they have another voice to reach out. So if any of you people from Kirkland watch this tonight, my email's in there. Reach out to me. Otherwise, I've got your information. I will contact each one of you respectfully and see if there's anything we can do as Healthcare Suck watchers, viewers, and as Healthcare Sucks myself. And that's part 2. Wow. It's harsh, guys. I love you all. Take care. Let's get prepared, because they're dropping the ball. It's all about the money for those people in Wall Street now. We know. Thank you. Good night, and I'll be back. And healthcare sucks.